Alright folks, it looks like we've claimed our next victim. No good. No bueno. All these are plugged in. Same. So, yeah, next victim. Wasn't the first, won't be the last. So, I gotta dump all the shmoo into a bucket, pack her up, pray they take her back. Just replacing the original fittings back into their place here. I had a barb here. I gotta recover my Allen wrench. I did discover this is in fact the only one in that size, and it's the one for the Harbor Freight lathe tool post. So of course I can't change the damn tool bits. Yeah, so shouldn't have touched it. Now I've unplugged the hole and the slime is escaping. Got the bucket for collecting the goop. Now I admit I'm a habitual hoarder, but you know, I got two of these things and I chucked one of the boxes away, but something told me to give them the old highly accelerated life testing before I threw both of the boxes and the instruction and the receipts away, and wise decision apparently. Seems like somebody over there in China has half a brain, because this thing is the perfect size to fit and get stuck on a Home Depot bucket. Unfortunately, somebody in America does not have a brain, because I tipped it over instead of sticking the bucket on top of it upside down first, and so there was some spillage as one of the wrenches in there did a flip and exploded green pyramid conspiracy all over the garage. So whoops, right to the vacuum cleaner, would you? Also fantastiche, I left the hoses dangling loose, and somehow, you know, this never happens when you want it to happen, but they started a siphon all on their lonesome, because I guess the hose laying at the ground level was lower than the fluid in the filter bags up top, and so without me intervening to suck all the air out of the hoses, they were just pumping the liquid out of the bucket and onto the floor. Fantastic. You know, somewhere out there, Hung Low Charlie is having a laugh because he's done made a buck off American staples and real packing tape with the fiberglass mesh in it. But also he's having a laugh because, you know, he's Hung Low Charlie. So he's got that going for him. Alright folks, 20 pounds of melted dinosaur later, we got us another one. So I gotta go through the usual restartification here. Of course, all the plugs are just half a thread in, and it's got rattly loose bolts and that I seen on the other two tumblers. So I gotta tighten this up. Maybe spackle some, you know, anti-leaking sealant in there, and see if she works. Well, maybe I should plug her in before I take her apart. You be the judge. Oh, she is rife with the smell of some sort of foreign cooking and plastic shreds. Again, no surprise there. That's all the other ones were just coarsely threaded, slapped together, and they shoved her in a box and off you go. 30 seconds on the clock tops. Ugh, that down there. But just wanted to get a picture of the texturization on the inside. I don't know if I captured the other one on the way out. But if not, you'll see this one soon enough. Smooth as babies can't say that on television or they'll find me. Still have not gotten the proper tap to embiggen these holes, so I done what I did last time. I stole the plug off the other guy, you know. But once I get off my Amazon bum and order the thing, because I'll never get around to going to the store, I'll embiggen the threads. Simpsons did it, and put one of these guys in so I won't have to sleeve my sleeves to make the more bigger tubing fit. So that's just a cut off of the tube that came with the other one. So the next guy gets not only a broken thing, but one that's missing parts. Of course, they're not gonna sell that thing because it wouldn't turn on. So, you know, they will definitely sell it missing parts to some poor schmuck. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with it. I tried twisting, turning, shaking it. It stopped while it was in operation, so I'm guessing the bearing seized and burnt it right up while I was at work. More of them spring washer types what for throwing in the recycling bin, because they don't do crap. Yep, toss it. Ladies and gents, before we open her up, I would like to just give thanks to the most used tool in the shop. You can't get enough of little dinguses. 1/4-inch drive micro ratchet. I've got 4 or 5. I think 3 take the hex bits, and 2 of them have the 1/4-inch drive. So yeah, I lied. This is a 1/4-inch hex drive. 2 of them have a 1/4-inch squared drive. The hex drive being of the female persuasion, just like that. About that size too. But the square drive, of course, being the reverse. Actually, folks, I just second guessed that idea. This is the rattly looseness I was talking about. It's just these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, and with the hopefully right wrench this time and a screwdriver, I can get at this and tighten them up without having to take the thing apart, which is good because the ones on the top side are torqued like Hercules. I don't know if they've got Loctite or whatever, but they need to be vibration retardant and not come off when the thing is all over the place. This thing, I mean, would it? If I didn't tighten this up, it would probably come straight off. Maybe that's good or bad. You can see there's like a thinned motor casing, I guess for the heat. It looks pretty sizable. It's got a weight dingus on the end here. I can't really get a good purchase on it. Oh, there it goes. So off-centered cast bob for making the vibration, which is interesting that they're vibrating the motor at the base, and then who knows? Do they shock mount the motor? Doesn't appear to be. I don't know. Voodoo. Maybe that's a counterbalance. Maybe the motor's vibrating the plastic end off center, and then they counterbalance the motor so that this heavy stamped steel thing doesn't too much vibrate. It's not really all that heavy. Anyway, I just want to tighten these up so it doesn't make so much noise, and who cares about the longevity? As you saw, the other one didn't live very long. Interesting aside on cost savings here. Look at the guy that came from the inside of this dude, and this the one that was on the outside. Now they both have the same injection molding kind of marking. However, it looks like they've pre-tumbled this one smooth. It would have been on the outside, you know, on display to the customer, still crusty, so that tells me it was probably too rough and they didn't tumble it long enough to get it all the way out. But yeah, it came pre-cracked right from the factory, so I'm sure that spells great things for longevity. Hardly worried about that. It's got a metal insert, and when it goes, if it outlives this guy, then I'll just get a you know, a nut and then put a fastener on it. Alright, this time we're putting a much less important Allen wrench in the hole to keep the plastic from going through. This happens to be a 9/64, don't know what it's for, but it's not for the lathe tool, so and it's a ball end type, or bell end if you're in a country that contains a place named Queensland, or you're not allowed to own guns or defend yourself. Alright guys, since I'm putting this thing back together again, I already got nice gross fingerprints on it when I dumped all the slimy goop out of the bucket back into the thing. I put the new stiffer tubing in a little bit shorter too, so it wouldn't kink. I gotta change that one down there too. Ran into a minor problem though. Of course, the stiffer tubing, the reinforcement does nothing really, I don't think, to make it any stiffer. It's wall thickness. So this is the high PSI rated stuff. I linked it in my other video, hoping that it would be better for you guys before I tried it for myself. So now I'm actually gonna try it. It's definitely stiffer. It definitely doesn't kink as easily as that. When this stuff gets warm and is aged and vibrated, we'll find out. But of course, bigger wall thickness. The clamp I had was perfect fit for that tubing, too small for this tubing. So how are we gonna deal? Oh, for feck's sake. The old water pump is running now. Being on the well water comes out of the ground, nice and brown. Good for drinking, puts hair on your chest.